Good morning, my viewers. Again, it is another Saturday, and this time not for easy numbers, but for esoteric mathematics, the mathematics of the universe. Now, I am sure from the phone calls I've received that many people would want this alphabet repeated. They missed out in the last time. So I'll put it here again. You can copy it again. If you take the number 1, this number vibrates to some letters, and the letters are A, I, J. The letters are also Q and Y. So the ancient Chaldeans studied these letters to vibrate to the numeral 1. And then when you came to the numeral 2, they studied the letter B, K, and R. So numeral 2 vibrates the letter B, K, and R. Numeral 3 vibrates to the letters D, M, and T. And numeral 4 vibrates to just a minute, there's a confusion there. Let me confirm. Numeral 3 vibrates to C, G, L, and S. Then numeral 4 is the one that vibrates to D, M, T. So as you go on, numeral 5 will vibrate to the letters E, H, N, X, E, H, N, X. And as you move on, numeral 6 will vibrate to U, to V, to W. And numeral 7 will vibrate to the letters O and Z. And finally, numeral 8 will vibrate to the letters P and F. So if you missed them at that time, those are the letters. So wherever you see a letter A in any place, you replace it with 1. The same as I, the same as J, the same as Q, the same as Y. You replace them with 1. And when you see B anywhere in writing, you replace it with, we replace it with 2. And when you see K, it's also 2. And when you see R, it's also 2. And when you see the letter C, G, L, and S, all those vibrate to the numeral 3. And when you see the letter D, M, and T, those vibrate to the numeral 4. And the numeral 5 has the letters E, H, N, and X, while the numeral 6 vibrates to the letters U, V, and W. The numeral 7 vibrates to the letters O and Z. So O and Z, here is Z, not 7, but Z. So the numeral 7 vibrates to the letter O and Z, while the numeral 8 vibrates to the letters and F. So these are the letters that are used in the universe to make names of businesses, of people, of any situation. And the letters make what we call words. And I've told you before that in the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So don't take slightly the meaning of words. Words are the homes in which we live. Good words mean good life. Bad words mean bad life. So be careful the way you put names here and there. So copy this very quickly because I want to remove it and get on to something else. So this alphabet was studied by the Hebrews. It's called the Ancient Hebrew Kabbalah alphabet. And you see, we are all dwarfs standing on the shoulders of the people who are gone before us. Great inventions have been done by those people, not by us. We are only utilizing what these great people did. So, remember that they were gifted people by God. And so, many of them spoke with God either in dreams or even in waking states. The only thing they haven't seen is God himself. But they have heard the voices and they have been inspired by God. So, once you have taken that alphabet down, I will remove it and start talking about the number 5 today. And pay very special attention. And you may be a businessman. You may be a parenting father or mother. You may be an anticipating marriage fellow. Whatever you are, you're going through school, you are a student. Numbers will govern your life. Let me talk about the number 5 today. A certain wise student, a teacher in some school, asked me after my talking that why is God not one? And that was a very, very sensible question. And my answer is this. If you have a weigh scale, this weigh scale has the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. This is the center that holds everything. This is the center that balances everything. And in it, there is not just one one, there are 5 ones. And that is who God is. G O D. 3, 7, 4. 3 plus 7 is 10 plus 4 is 14. And 1 plus 4 is 5. The 14 is called a compound number A compound number is one with the 2 digits, and 5 is a single number. A single number is 1 digit only. So God is compound 14, and you can see the one element in 14, and it is single 5, the center of everything. It is the holder of everything. All numbers revolve around that number. 1, 2, 3, 4, they culminate at 5, and from there we come to 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a scale of the universe. So God stands at the center of everything to balance it. So that's why God, while he has 5 ones in himself, he is the balancer of everything. He is the center of everything. And that's why he is at number 5. Okay, I'm talking about this number 5. I'll give you a small story. And if you can follow this story, I don't know, you will find something in it. Back in 1966, on December 21st, a young boy was born in this country. Now this country is Kenya. So let's see the vibration of the country we are talking about, Kenya. Kenya, K is 2, A is 5, N is 5, Y is 1, and A is 1. So when we add all this, we find compound 14. And then when we want to look for the single number is 1 plus 4, it is single 5. Today I'm talking about 5. And open your ears. So I said a young man was born in this country in 1966 on 21st December in the country called Kenya. So the vibrations that hit this young man was vibration 5. Now this young man grew up and started some business, and he called himself a hustler. And the business this young man started selling was the business called eggs. This guy was dealing in eggs. Let us look at the vibration of this word eggs. E is 5, G is 3, another G is 3, and S is 3. And so if you add 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, you get back to compound 14, which will bring you to single number. When you add 1 plus 4, it will give you single number 5. So this young man, born in the country that vibrates to number 5, picked up on a business that vibrates to 5. And he did very, very, very well in this business. Such that later on, this guy then was attracted by his finances and so on, was attracted to business, to politics. And when he entered into politics, the party he came in that built his political career was the party KANU. Let's look at the vibrations of KANU. The K is 2, the A is 1, the N is 5, and the U is 6. When you add this, you find compound 14. And when you go to single number, then 1 plus 4, you find single number 5. So this guy comes into a political party that still harmonizes with the rhythm of the country in which he was born, and goes on to harmonize with the vibrations of the business he picks on, and finally the political party that he picks on. Later on at the university, this man joins a movement called YK92. YK92. So if this is 1, and this is 2, and this is 9, and this is 2. Now I want you to pay attention. The rhythms of the universe are harmonizing with certain things, whether you know or you don't know. So this guy goes to YK92. Y is 1, K is 2. And then 9, 2. Let's add this and see the vibration of this movement. This is 3, 12, 14. It is compound 14. And when you add this one, you end up with single 5. So it is 5 through from where he begins to where he ends. Now, who is this young man? This young man who comes in YK92, let us see, he is probably William Samoei Ruto. Samoei Ruto. This young man, what is his name looking like? Let's see. W6. 6133114. If I add all this, 12, 14, 15, 19. The name William is a 19 compound, which ends up to compound 10 and finally ends up to single 1. The name Samoei is 314751. So this name here goes to 15, 20, 21. Compound 21, single 3, 2 plus 1. The final name is 2647. Now, this is again compound 19, which reduces to compound 10 and ends up to single 1. Now you are a mathematician. I want you to take the total vibration of William Samoei Ruto. Single 1, single 3, single 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So this man here is vibration 5. A man born in a country that vibrates to 5, a man that chose the business eggs that vibrates to 5, a man that joined a party, a political party called KANU that vibrates to 5, a man that joined a movement at the university and they call it the YK92, which vibrates to 5. Can you say where he is? This number harmonizes with the number 1. And you can see that there are how many 5s in his name? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 1s in his name. Do you see how 5 is haunting this man? 5 1s in his name, which total up to 5. And what is the meaning of the repeated 1s in his name? Look all over. A 19 has 1, a 21 has 1, a 19 has 1, a 10 has a 1. What is all these 1s haunting this man? The universal harmonics lead to this vibration. President. Can you kindly calculate the word president? It is 8, 2, 5, 3, 1, 4, 5, 5, 4. Now when you add all this, it ends up to 37. And when you add 3 plus 7, it ends up to 10. And when you add 1 plus 0, it ends up to 1. Man number 1 in the country. Whether somebody calculated for him all these rhythms for harmonies, or whether it is by chance, but you cannot beat the interlinking 5 in whatever this man has been. And when you see Samoei as 3, this is a number 3 man. Look at his date of birth on 21st. 2 plus 1 is 3. And they name him 3. So that there is no confrontation with the rhythms of the universe. You see, we the ordinary people are just there shouting, oh, this is Bure, we are Pana, we are Pana. But you don't know why this person is where he is. You don't know what has pushed him to where he is, even if everybody else thought he could not. The universal harmonics, the rhythms of the universe. So if you can study what metaphysics is, and I recommend everybody, Google the word metaphysics, see what it says. And Google to see some of these arcane schools. some of these esoteric schools, the schools that teach this knowledge beyond the ordinary. Such schools like the Rosicrucian Order, such schools like the Freemasonry. People who don't understand these people call them satanic. And yet they themselves are more satanic than the Freemasonry. They themselves are more satanic than the Rosicrucians. What the Freemasons have done and what the Rosicrucians have done is to obey the verses in the Bible. My people perish for lack of knowledge. That's ignorance. And that's why the Islamic scriptures put it a must to find knowledge. In their own Arabic language, they say, طلب العلم فريضة على كل مسلم والمسلمات. That looking for ilm, looking for knowledge, is a must for every Muslim man and every Muslim woman. So the two great scriptures, the Islam and Christianity, insist on knowledge. Have you ever wondered why the Easterners are more knowledgeable than the Westerners? Have you ever wondered why all prophets that you might think of are just around in the East, and no prophet is coming from the West? In our own terms, we call them the Orients and the Occidentals. Those two, some fall in the Orients, some fall in the Occidentals. Have you ever wondered why? Because the Easterners are more of esoteric knowledge, because they know that there's something up there that is much better than what we have on the mundane here. That's on this normal earth. And so they go seeking for it. Back in 1969, I was doing my Form 4, and I was being taught by American teachers. And this is the time when Major Yuri Gagarin and Armstrong were landing on the moon. And so the American teachers in our school, that back in St. Peter's in Mumias, threw a party for all the school to celebrate their own people landing on the moon. And so while we were in the party, one of the teachers asked us, do you know why Africans or the African continent is called Third World, while the Americans are called First World? And we said we don't know. And the answer he gave us was that while you people just look for knowledge of what you can see, we people go beyond that. We explore the realm of thought, and we explore what is unseen to see whether we can convert that unseen into what can be useful for us. So that's why we are First World, and for you, you are Third World. It is from that knowledge that we can develop our industries and beat you. Today it is true. I have believed the person who made this phone Actually, there is hardware here. The wires, the what and what and what and what, call them. But have you ever wondered what connects you with the person in Nairobi? You are in Bungoma. What is it in between here that connects you? Is it just this thing, or is there something else? And my answer is the vibrations. The vibrations are in everything, everywhere, and they dance to the tune that you give. Just like a guitar wire, can sing anything that you, the way you tune it is the way the sound comes out. So these vibrations that connect us to be able to transmit the sound to wherever place is esoteric, discovered by the first world, while we in the third world are just busy looking at it, enjoying our TikTok, enjoying what and what, making a lot of fun, and refusing to study. The whole night we are on it, and calling girlfriends and boyfriends and breaking homes even. You don't know how this thing works. So it is the numbers that are governing the universe, and it is numbers in their vibrations. Those who have done physics know that the vibrations are in certain octaves, and these octaves are the ones that make a distinction between one thing and another. Why is an orange different from a lemon? It's just the number of vibrations of the item. And these vibrations are in the atoms that form that thing. And those atoms are just simply neutrons, protons, and electrons. You can't touch them, you can't see them. The electrons, the neutrons, and the protons. But they come together in such a way that they produce what you see. Numbers, the rulers of the universe. So, all I am trying to tell the country, and I've told them before in the 90s, is that the universe has main cycles or rhythms that if you understand them, then you can harmonize with them and get your things to what we call success. And if you confront them and don't work in harmony with them, then you have things that we call unfortunate situations, misfortunes, and so on. But this is only our human interpretation. The universe has nothing to do with misfortunes. The universe has nothing to do with bad or good. It is just the way we interpret them. For example, you might interpret, a crude example is that the human shit in the toilet to you is bad. You can interpret it as bad. But that's only a relative term. This thing is not bad. This thing is what maggots enjoy. They cherish it. Ask the maggots if the human shit is bad, and they'll tell you, you are mad. You play with delicious food. Okay, the human shit can be made into manure, and the crops will flourish out of it. Ask the crops or tell the crops that human shit is bad, and they will tell you are crazy. This is the best dish we have ever had. So these terms, bad or good, are relative terms. It depends on how you want to interpret them. It is just the same thing like you are holding a stick And a stick has two ends. It has either the left hand side end or the right hand side end. And it has nothing to do with being permanent. What is on the left can be switched to the right, and it's still the same stick. And that's metaphysics. And that's the philosophy you need to understand. So, for you people who are calling me, I appreciate so much. But you see, I cannot give you the details in this short span. So the remedy is to get that small book known as The Universe and Man. It will give you the foundation of all this. In this book, I explain what a life cycle is, a yearly life cycle is. The one that runs from the day you are born all the way around up to the next birthday. That's a complete circle. In that circle is divided into 7 periods, period 1 to period 7 of your yearly life cycle. And each period is about 52 days. And in each of those 52 days, there is what you can do and succeed and what you can do and fail. I cannot explain that in this short time. There is also what we call the daily life cycle. This cycle is the one that runs from midnight and goes all the way up to another midnight. It is divided into 7 periods of about 3.5 hours each period. The periods being named A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So in each of this period, there are things you can do with great success and there are things you cannot do with great success. You are a farmer, you want to take your seeds to the land. There is a period you take, start planting and harvest heavily. There is a period you go and plant and it does not matter how much manure you put. Something happens to the crops. And there's crop failure or something like that. There are people who want to put up commercial buildings. There is a period in which you start such a big rhythm of investing into a building. And you'll find it just goes on and on. If money is finished, money comes and you are completing this thing here. And there is a period when you start the building, even if you have how much money. Something will come and deviate this money to this side, to this side, to this side. And for a long time you find you cannot finish this building. There are so many things I can explain here. In here, there is what we call the lunar circle. The lunar circle is the one that is controlled by the moon. And the word lunatic has come from the lunar circle. A lunatic person is more crazy when the moon is in a certain position and is a bit okay when the moon turns into a certain position. All these rhythms are in these small books, The Universe and Man. So a person who is serious with his life should then seek this knowledge. It is the knowledge that God gave to the early people, the prophets. When you saw Jesus working miracles, Jesus was a great mystic. When you saw Moses throwing down a stick and it becomes a snake, all these are people who are touched by God in their own knowledge. That is the knowledge that God is saying, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And it has nothing to do with your belief. Remain with your belief, but have the knowledge. We are not asking anybody to move away from his or her religion. We are just asking people to be enlightened. So that you know that if I drink poison, I will be dead the next minute. Why will I be dead? And the poison is not beating me up. The poison is not knifing me. The poison is not cutting me the panga. It's because it is interfering with the natural laws of the universe, the laws of digestion. There is no scientist who made the digestive system. There's no scientist. It is a universal system put in place by God himself. Just like gravity. We use gravity a lot, but nobody put it in place. Only God put it in place. So if you have this knowledge, and last weekend I talked about prayer, I said you seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened to you. Prayer is not this thing we see here, drumming around and dancing in the whole street until you cause jam. Jesus was against that. He says, when you pray, do not do like the hypocrites do, dancing around the street corners and so on, so that people may recognize them. When you pray, go into your inner room and lock it up and pray to your God. And the God who is in secrecy will reward you. In metaphysics, we have a special word for it, meditation. When you meditate over something, you are actually praying over it. You are actually knocking. You are actually seeking. And you will find. So, my viewers, this is mathematics for the universe, and it's mathematics for everybody, child, middle age, old. You need to know where to step so that you do not drop into a hole, so that you succeed. Get that small book, The Universe and Man. It's not in the bookshop. Such books are not in bookshops. Just call me on telephone number 0721 901 429. 0721 901 429. Call me as I leave the studio. I will tell you how you can find that small book, and you'll have found big knowledge. Until next weekend, it's bye-bye from Dr. Kun.